What's going on here, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy Tato Nation here, aka TN Ramo, and today I'm bringing you a video on Marvel Contest of Champions, on two specific champions. I've been wanting to do a video on these two characters in about a while, only because I think a lot of people still think that Archangel is no longer good, god tier and everything, because there's a lot of immunities to bleed and a lot of immunities to poison and things like that. And yes, they are a very good couple of champions that are immune to everything, but it doesn't mean that the full contact of story mode, or labyrinth, and all that other kind of stuff doesn't have his great usage. So the first video I'm gonna do is gonna be on Ghost, and the reason why is because I've been using Ghost for some quite some time, and quite frankly, before I knew she was super good, I genuinely loved her to death. She's just such a great champion to have. Yet alone, like, before I started to do all the reading on the characters' abilities and all that kind of stuff, I was just basically figuring out my champion's abilities just by gameplay, through playing with them and things like that. And I wish I actually did videos back then, because I would have did a video on a specific champion that I love so deeply. And it's crazy because he's such a villain, but I love Loki as a character. His art illustration, his persona, everything. I love everything about him. He's such a great character, and I love his mischievous ways and all that kind of crap. And I just have to make a video on him too, and explaining his SP3, how it's god tier. The moment you have his SP3 out on the field, it's god tier, and you just gotta learn how to keep it up there, because it will eventually steal every single buff. Okay, so just throwing that out there about him real quick. I'm sorry, I was supposed to only talk about the champions. So okay, so first video I'm gonna do is literally gonna be on Ghost and her phasing and everything like that. Okay, so as you can see, I have my Ghost's strategies completely maxed out. Um, I have what's this guy's name? Ant-Man. I have Ant-Man on her, which basically I get a 15% attack buff, basically for each buff on Ghost. I get 15 plus attack. Okay, and when I have Wasp, all my attacks become unblockable while phasing, which that is just, imagine cornering somebody basically and doing your SP automatically. You annihilate. And then I have my Hood, who basically, when I am phasing, I take no damage. Which, if you ask me, that's pretty good when you're going up against characters like Magic, who they hit you no matter what you're doing because of limbo. I think, to me personally, that's a really good intake. Okay. Um, Now let's go to her abilities. Okay. I have her at 53. I'm trying super hard to keep building her up, but yeah. So um, I think, I don't know, man. I love her to death. I think she's such a great champion. I'm sorry, just reading a couple of things. Okay, so her ability. Don't mind me if I don't pronounce it properly. Just her quantum augmentation. I believe that's how you say it. Okay, that's a passive ability. So at the start of the fight, you begin phasing for 2 seconds. When opponent misses, generate a 2.8% of max power per miss. So I think that's awesome. Not only does she have a power gain, but you can 100% make your opponent miss. And if your timing is correctly, you can attack and do that critical damage. Okay, her abilities dash back. All right, begin phasing for 2 seconds. Phase won't activate if Ghost is affected with armor break debuff, or has a precision phase. Okay, so now you guys are aware of, in case for those people who are doing the backdashes and her phases are not activating. Well, now you know. Okay, best way to get rid of any type of precision passive is just go in and hit your opponent. Even if it's a low attack, just go for it. As long as she hits, it goes away. I've realized that for quite some time now. Okay. Phasing. While phasing, incoming attacks have a 100% chance to miss, and each damage over time debuff on Ghost converts to a Fury passive, increasing attack rating by 1922 for 5 seconds. So if you're bleeding, poison, shock, or anything like that, it automatically converts it into an attack rating. Now, I do not know if Degeneration works that way. I have not tried it for some reason because even when I was doing 6.1 Act 1, that little first chapter, you know how you would do the backdash and stuff like that. It would convert it into a Degeneration if you did it twice. Well, my timing was pretty good, so I never got it done with her in particular. Maybe other champions, yes, but not with her. So I don't know. Don't quote me on it. I will try it and see if it works, even with Degeneration. If it does not, then damn, Degeneration is by far the strongest debuff in the game. Then damage over time. Okay, so moving on. Upon facing a precision passive for 6 seconds, which guarantees the next hit to be a critical and consumes the precision phase, Ghost can only land critical hits through her abilities. So, as you are aware, she does non critical hits without phasing. Her ability is the only time she can do critical hits. So, I guess that's a downfall if you ask me in a way, because a critical hit on a just through a phase, it's kind of sucks. But if you use her correctly, then yes, her phase will do the damage that it needs to be done. Okay, um, where was I? Okay, phasing is immediately deactivated when Ghost interacts. Initiates an attack or blocks an attack. Okay, so now if you parry, if you block, if you go for attack and you miss, she just snaps out of it. So that's why you should learn how to do it properly, so that you don't miss and you don't get out of phase. Because if you get out of phase and you don't land, then now you gotta make sure you land the next hit so you can get that precision passive off of you, so you can go back into phase. Okay, all attacks. Critical hits cannot be invaded. Oh crap, that's rough because critical hits do that damage. Non-critical hits have a 10% chance to gain a cruelty buff, increasing critical damage rating by 1366.67 damage for 20 seconds. Cruelty buffs stack up to 5. When the opponent invades, gain a precision passive for 6 seconds. Okay, so now you guys are aware. Non-critical hits have a 10% chance to gain cruelty buffs. Okay, increasing your damage rating by that damage, 1366.67 for 20 seconds. Okay, heavy attacks. 50% chance to gain a fury buff for 10 seconds, granting a plus 96 attack. The chance to gain a cruelty buff on a heavy non-critical hit increases the longer the heavy is charged. Now, depending on how strong your stun is on your opponent, but it also depends on how much limber your opponent has. So at the end of the day, I guess I don't know how long you can charge it, but I would say go for it, or time your heavy attacks a lot better, and maybe you'll be able to do them back to back to back to back to back. I've seen people do it actually back to back to back on other videos, but I'm not the one that can do it like that, so I just do what I can. Everybody has their own. Okay, SP1. I'm cracking up because now they no longer name the moves, when back then they used to actually give you the name of the move, but now they're just SP1, SP2, SP3. So it makes sense. All right, so your SP1 has you gain a 3 precision passive for 6 seconds, And when triggering immediately upon phase, each hit is a guaranteed critical. So automatically, when you are phased, you're phasing, every hit that your SP1 does automatically, sorry about that, does a critical guarantee. So stacking up your cruelties and your precision passes and all that stuff, it does a lot of damage. You'll be able to do, like 23 Ks, 24, 25, even up to 29. All right, SP2. Gain a cruelty buff, increase critical damage rating by 1366.67 for 20 seconds, and then refresh all cruelty buffs generated by ghosts. When triggered immediately upon phase, each hit is a guaranteed critical. So every hit for SP1 and SP2 are completely critical hits on phasing. So basically, you want to do your phase and do your unblockables. So if you do your phase and you do your unblockables, you'll be able to do the damage. Doing about a good 18 to 19 on a regular, like not having to basically crack around on cruelties and precision buffs and all that kind of stuff. Just heads up on that. Okay, SP3. Each cruelty buff generated by ghosts converts to a permanent cruelty passive. Cruelty passive stacks up to 5. That is awesome. So my goal here is to try to generate her to SP3. Just leave her there and try to build as much as cruelty I can, so that I can convert it permanently into cruelty passives. Okay, that is my goal. Hey, win or lose, well, I'm definitely gonna win, but I don't want to prolong the video for too long. So, and my masteries are not those insane masteries. I don't have all that crazy stuff everybody has. I have just some regular masteries, nothing out of the ordinary. I am now officially trying to refix all my masteries. I'm trying to rebuild everything. So I am on the road to units. That's what I'm gonna call it, road to units to fix masteries. So basically, okay, so as you guys can see, I have very basic masteries, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing crazy. Okay, I only have one parry. I've always been like that. I've only threw in one parry, but I'm planning on fixing this, which is my limber, which is what I was speaking about. Just so that it basically reduces the duration of the enemy's stun debuffs by 8% and blah blah blah. I definitely don't want to be stunned for too long, so I'm trying to get that up there. And Purify. I think when a champion inflicts stun debuffs, they also reduce the enemy regeneration rate by up to 10% and power gain from attacking or being attacked up to 10% for the duration of a stun. That is really good, and I did not read that properly back in the days, so I only have one, sadly, but I will fix that as well when I start fixing all my masteries. So okay, so now let's get to this fight, and I am doing in particular, I'm gonna go into Realm of Legends, and I'm gonna do this. Just we're gonna get that, and then we'll just fight this guy right here, Winter Soldier, and just get this going. No buffs, no nothing, just my regular synergies and everything else. I just wanna bring him up all the way to the corner just to piss him off. You see how the passive goes away the moment oh, he took away some power. The moment that I attack, like the moment that I land the hit. But as you can see, every hit she has done besides after the phase is a non-critical hit. Watch. Phase, critical, non-critical, non-critical, non-critical. All of it. Oh, okay. I don't mind if he does his SB2. Do, 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 do. I'm trying to get those attack buffs up. Okay, so I think I only have 4 at the moment, but you know what? We'll see this. Alright, so she will gain a permitted cruelty buff for every other cruelty that it had, and it just converts into it permanently. Okay, so now it's at 4. Okay. Now the whole point is to do this. Boom. 19, 19, 26. Okay. As you guys can see, that was a lot of damage if you really do the math on that. Sometimes yeah, see, sometimes I make mistakes like that because I'm playing one-handed, just throwing that out there. Alright, so I'll do it right here. Boom. 17, 17, 23, and that's without the fury buffs. She's just a killer. That's what it is. And I parried that. I parried that one bullet. I was gonna go for it anyway. As you can see, it's like the damage is going down. All right, here, look, perfect bleed. Boom. Hold on. Look, converted that. Converted that into passive and all this other stuff. So, as you guys can see, it really didn't take long if it wasn't because I messed up and stuff like that. But as you guys can see, that damage that she was doing is just insanity. And if your timing is correct and all your phasing and all your buffs and everything and all of that is on point, she would end that fight in so long, like in little seconds, like little times, which is crazy because a lot of people come here to farm this level 3 potion or level 4 potion, things like that. They come here to farm it because they use champions like her or like Archangel that just do the significant damage that just, it's just insane. Like I don't know, man. I love her. I love her to death. She's such a great champion. But either or, guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this video. Again, I do apologize for the trashy gameplay of how I did it towards the end. Again, just I'm playing one-handed at the moment. So yeah. Thank you, everybody. If you like what I do, you know, subscribe to my channel and write down on the comments below anything that you guys would like to know, any champions you guys like to see. Just let me know, and I'll be willing to do videos on them and things like that. So just let me know.